Can you imagine jazz without Gene Krupa? This question underscores just how transformative Krupa was to the world of music. Before his arrival on the scene, drummers were often relegated to the background, providing a mere beat without much recognition. Krupa shattered that norm by pioneering the extended drum solo, infusing charisma and technical mastery that elevated the drummer to a star position on stage. His iconic performance on Benny Goodman's 1937 recording of Sing, Sing, Sing not only electrified audiences, but forever changed the perception and role of the drummer in jazz and popular music. Without Krupa's innovations and showmanship, jazz and the broader musical landscape would look remarkably different today. Gene Krupa was the first drummer to achieve true celebrity status, captivating audiences so completely that he became a household name in the 1930s, decades before drummers were ever considered stars in their own right. Like Elvis Presley transformed rock and roll into a cultural phenomenon, Krupa revolutionized jazz drumming by bringing explosive solos and magnetic showmanship to the forefront of popular music. His impact went beyond performance. Krupa collaborated with drum manufacturers to redefine the modern drum kit, innovations that still shape drumming today. Yet beneath the dazzling spotlight was a man who faced personal loss with dignity. Gene Krupa's life story was marked by resilience and quiet strength amid adversity, carrying the weight of family tragedy early on when his older brother Walter died tragically. Young Walter had gone on an errand to the butcher shop and did not return. His frozen body was later found in the ice near the Calumet River, a loss that deeply affected the Krupa family. In addition to this early sorrow, Gene faced the personal struggle of sterility, which was a source of sensitivity for him, but did not deter him from building a family through adoption with his second wife. Throughout his life, Krupa balanced the challenges of loss and personal hardship with a passionate commitment to his music and his loved ones. With his movie star good looks and tousled hair, Gene Krupa attracted many female fans and provided the Benny Goodman Band with much of its visual appeal, elevating the role of the drummer from mere timekeeper to frontline performer. To many swing fans, Krupa epitomized jazz drumming. Gene's playing career spanned 5 decades of jazz history, but it wasn't until he joined Benny Goodman's band in late 1934 that his fame began to spread. Krupa became part of Benny Goodman's orchestra when it was formed for the NBC radio show, Let's Dance. His dynamic drumming style helped make the band sound exciting and modern. During those years, the Goodman Band became the leading swing orchestra in America, and Krupa's drumming on tunes like Sing, Sing, Sing made him a star. As the band's popularity grew, so did Krupa's. Audiences often cheered wildly for him during shows, and he started to overshadow Goodman on stage. In 1938, after a falling out with Goodman, Krupa left to form his own band. The falling out between Gene Krupa and Benny Goodman occurred as a result of growing artistic tensions and escalating personality clashes within Goodman's orchestra. Goodman was known as a strict perfectionist and demanding bandleader who valued precision and discipline, while Krupa was a flamboyant performer who often stole the spotlight with his energetic drumming style. As Krupa grew in popularity, audiences began acknowledging him almost as much as Goodman, a dynamic that created friction. Goodman, who did not like to share the spotlight, became increasingly distracted and irritated by Krupa's assertive loud playing, especially during live shows and radio broadcasts. Krupa, on his part, became restless as a sideman and desired more creative control and recognition. The tensions came to a head after their landmark Carnegie Hall concert on January 16, 1938, where Krupa was a standout star. Within a month of that legendary performance, the disagreements culminated in Krupa leaving Goodman's band to start his own orchestra. While the split was dramatic in the moment, both musicians patched things up over time and worked together again at various points in their careers. As he rose to fame in the 1930s and 1940s, Krupa became a national celebrity, known for his showmanship and groundbreaking drumming style. He revolutionized the drum set and drum techniques, influencing generations of drummers. This period was full of artistic satisfaction, touring, and high-profile collaborations, including with Benny Goodman and Tommy Dorsey. However, the spotlight came with intense public scrutiny and the pressure to maintain his status as one of the greatest drummers of his time. Despite his success, Krupa faced serious personal challenges, including a highly publicized 1943 drug bust that led to jail time and damaged his career temporarily. Krupa's drug bust for marijuana possession dramatically affected his career and reputation. Federal narcotics agents arrested Krupa in San Francisco after a performance at the Golden Gate Theater. The incident involved Krupa's valet, whom authorities claimed had been sent by Krupa to retrieve marijuana from his hotel room. When he was apprehended, he allegedly told narcotics agents that Krupa had instructed him to bring the marijuana to the bandleader at the theater. Krupa was charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor and possessing narcotics. He initially pleaded innocent, but ultimately accepted a misdemeanor plea, resulting in a 90-day sentence in county jail and a $500 fine. He also faced a felony charge for allegedly employing a minor to transport narcotics, which carried the possibility of a much longer prison term. Many reports and later interviews suggest the case against Krupa was either exaggerated or based on questionable testimony, with accusations of entrapment and unreliable witness statements casting doubt on the legitimacy of the charges. The case became a notorious example of federal drug enforcement targeting celebrities. Krupa was used as an example during early drug crackdown efforts, but later evidence indicated he may have been largely innocent or the victim of a setup. Despite this setback, Krupa eventually resumed his career and overcame the stigma associated with the arrest. He pleaded guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor and was sentenced to 90 days in jail. The possession charge was later dropped, but the arrest and conviction resulted in significant damage to his public reputation and interrupted his successful career. Eugene Bertram Krupa was born in Chicago on the 15th of January 1909 and was the youngest of 9 children. Brought up a Catholic, Gene's mother wanted him to become a priest. However, at the age of 10, he took a part-time job as an errand boy in a local music shop. Growing up on Chicago's notoriously tough South Side, he could have got caught up in the local street gangs. Instead, he listened to all the latest jazz records in the store, took up the alto sax, and began playing with a high school band. One night, after a rehearsal, he tried out the band's drum kit. It was then that he decided he'd rather play drums than the saxophone. He began playing drums professionally in the mid-1920s, joining local groups and working summer jobs. In 1927, Krupa made his first recording under the leadership of Red McKenzie and guitarist Eddie Condon, becoming the first drummer to use a full kit on a record, an innovation that shaped future jazz recordings. During the early 1930s, Krupa played with several bands and in Broadway pit orchestras for George Gershwin musicals. Krupa formed a new orchestra, experimenting with modern jazz orchestration and embracing younger, bebop-influenced players. He continued to record and perform, keeping his band active even as the big band era declined. He was repeatedly voted best drummer in polls and maintained a high profile thanks to his ongoing appearances. By the early 1950s, Krupa transitioned to smaller groups and joined the Jazz at the Philharmonic tours, collaborating with other leading jazz musicians. Krupa opened a drum school in New York with Cozy Cole in 1954, mentoring hundreds of students and influencing the next generation of drummers. Some of the school's students included Peter Criss of Kiss and Jerry Nolan of the New York Dolls. Doug Clifford of Creedence Clearwater Revival cited Krupa as an inspiration. He was renowned for drum battles with Buddy Rich and enjoyed television and movie success, most famously portrayed in The Gene Krupa Story. After retiring in 1967 due to health issues, Krupa staged a comeback in 1970, reuniting with the original Benny Goodman Quartet. In 1973, Krupa died in Yonkers at the age of 64 from heart failure, though he also had leukemia and emphysema. This is David from One Track Jazz. Thanks for listening, and please take a moment to like and subscribe.